Hello everybody, I'm Jackson and I got third at the Mesa, Arizona Regional with Trickstar deck that I picked up yesterday. Worked out very well. A few shout outs. I have to give a shout out to Carson Klukas and Kevin and Jacob for letting me borrow cards, and then Wyatt for being a sexy bitch. Here we go. Alright, so 3 Candina, 3 Lycoris, one of this. This card's really good, but you don't really want to draw it, so I just played the 1. 2 Gofu and 1 Eater of Millions. This definitely should have been inverted, because this card was okay. This card was actually really good, even though we don't have the Link thing yet, Link Revo or whatever. Just because it's really hard to get over, it just banishes everything. It was really good. This was alright. There was just a lot of times where I'd already have a field, and I draw it, and I just can't special it, so yeah. I didn't play the Wind Witches because they were too bricky. 3 Honest. Yeah, killed a lot of people with that. 3 Joel Unlock. This card's actually just a really good card in this format, even without the hand thing. It's just a really strong card. It shuts down a lot of decks, especially like the True Draco Spellbook deck. This just makes so it can't really play. Then Maxi. Spells, 3 Staged, 3 Terraforming, 3 Dark Room and Nightmare. A lot of people don't play this, but this was honestly one of the best cards of the deck. This won me countless games just because of how much damage this would put on the board. It was pretty insane. 3 Scapegoat. So this was the God card, because there's this insane loop with it that I'll kind of show after the video. But yeah, just making Link monsters with this was insane. And it's just stopped OTKs a lot, so it was really good. 2 Chain Summoning, because I don't want to draw multiples. This card was actually pretty darn awful. I only resolved it once, and I had to use a Maxi. I summoned Lycris, activated effect, ditched Maxi, then chained this. Granted, I won because I just summoned 3 Lycris with a Dark Room and Nightmare on board and burned him to death. But every single other time I drew it, it was completely dead. So, I don't know. I'd probably test a little more, but there's a good chance I'd cut it. It's definitely not needed. 2 Contracts down 1,000. This card was also, it was alright. It was really good just for consistency for drawing cards. The 1,000 damage definitely comes into effect. And seeing my opponent's hand actually was really big. So this card was pretty decent. It just helped with consistency along with the 2 Desires. I just really wanted to make sure I could draw my combo cards. If I went first, I wanted to be able to kill them. This got sided out every single time I went second, but when I went first, it just allows me to draw into extra cards. It gives them an extra card, so when I banish off of the trap, they take more damage off of Lycris. So it makes it so that if you resolve this and then get the Chain Summoning combo off, it's game. Raigeki. Yep. Traps were 3 Reincarnation and 1 Ring of Destruction. This could have probably been a Blazing Reinforce. I didn't have one. Ooh. It performed fine. Extra deck, 2 Decode, 2 Link Spider, 2 Mrs. Radiant. I think I only made this guy once. I did actually make 2 Link Spider. I never made the second one of these. This won me a game. That is just used to make this guy. This card's pretty, I don't know, it doesn't do too much. This guy's really good. This card's pretty good, and this card's for the loop that I'll get into after the profile. Castell and Breaksword to deal with like problematic cards. Never came up. This came up once, and I never made this, but it's really good in theory with the Gofu and Lycris. Side 2 Denko Sekka for if I played against Paleozoic, because that was scary. I never saw Paleo, so yeah. The card I probably should have main decked. This came in every single time I went second. It was really good. The 3 Kaijus with the Slumber. These are really good as well. This I drew this, used it, and I ended up being able to kill them because this guy's huge. I play him because you can get him off of this, and then you use Honest, and you know, yeah, it's pretty good. And Dark Hole, just another field clear. 3 System Down in case I ran under ABCs. I just wanted to absolutely annihilate them. So this is good. I never saw an ABC, but I did side it against a Cosmo player that I played. And I played 2 Anti-Spell for the Pendulum deck and for the True Draco deck, I'm gonna go first. Solemn Warning for basically whenever I go first, and then I kind of just ratios. I needed another card for Paleozoic and for going first against the True Draco deck, so I threw in one Heavy Storm Duster just to deal with those. Alright, so I'll go over my matchups real quick. Round 1, I beat Blue Eyes, the Ritual variant. Round 2, I beat the Draco Invoked Wind Witch Spellbook deck. We'll just call it the Draco deck. And round 3, I beat. What did I beat round 3? I think, was that the Pendulum player? Yeah, I think that was the Pendulum player, Pendulum Magicians. Yeah, and then round 4 was Infernoids, and I beat him. He was the one person that I got the reincarnation thing off against turn 1, where he just banished his whole hand. So that was pretty exciting. Round 5, I beat another Draco deck. Round 6, I beat Cosmo Draco. In round 7, I lost to the guy who got first, and he was playing Draco deck. And then round 8, I beat Pendulum Magician. So, yep. So real quick, the loop that we did, and this came up a few times. It was hilarious when it did because my opponent was kind of awe-stricken. Take Scapegoat, and you either need the field spell or Candina. So it's not an immediate thing. You have to wait one turn, but it's really easy to pull off. So this doesn't really require much setup at all. So let's say you have these. You activate the field spell, search this, summon, and get Lycris. Set that, and you're gonna bounce it at some point to special Lycris. You're gonna let them just kill it during their turn. So all that needs to happen is this Lycris needs to go to grave, and they need to have a monster of attack that's more than 1600, but not too big. You'll see. So this happened with Ignis. This happened with I did this with a Pendulum Joker dude twice. Yeah. So then end phase, you're gonna go ahead on their end phase. You're gonna go ahead and Scapegoat and special summon the 4 tokens. So on your turn, you link 1 into a Link Spider. And then you summon Candina and use its effect to get Lilybell. Lilybell triggers, special summons herself. And then you're going to link all 4 of these into Firewall. So at this point, you can go ahead and battle phase, attack him for 1,000 because of light stage. Lilybell triggers and adds Lycris to hand. Lycris, target Lilybell, special it next to Firewall, bounce. And you're gonna just crash this right into their monster. A lot of people, when I attack them, they thought that I was gonna honest them or whatever, but I was like, I just let it die, take the damage, special. Because of Firewall Dragon's effect, because the card it was pointing to was destroyed. So then you can attack directly for 1,000 again, effect, add, and at this point you just keep on looping it until they die. So as long as you can crash this 8 times, you can kill them. Of course, you'll already have done damage with the light stage in this from last turn, so it never took 8 attacks. There was a time where I did it, but I didn't have enough life points to, I had enough life points except for the last attack, but I had Honest Hand, so I just looped him and then just attacked and dropped Honest for game. So it's actually, it comes up a lot. It's the reason why, in my opinion, the reason why Scapegoat's so broken in this deck. So yeah, that's the deck. Thanks for watching, everybody.